Welcome to the Divine Feminines podcast and channel. I'm your host, to.This, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking through 5 signs that you're not in alignment, not living in alignment with your soul's purpose. Now, before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. We're Divine Feminines on YouTube and all major podcast platforms. We're also on TikTok and Instagram, and that's Divine Feminines with a Z at the end. While I can subscribe this channel, or particularly on YouTube, I drop additional content. There's a podcast every Friday on all major podcast platforms, but there's also additional content on the moon, energy portal updates, and anything that I feel that's called to me, channeled messages that I want to share, and that will be on YouTube too. So it's actually quite worthwhile checking it out on both platforms, and it's for ladies and for men, for everybody, and there's empowerment for your mind, body and soul, twin flames, moon guidance, soul purpose, and so much more. Now, if any of you, well, actually all of you, because I'd like to believe that those that are here, and welcome back to my existing soul tribe, and welcome to the new joins, happy to have you here, that you believe in the soul. Because if you are really on this channel right now, you definitely believe in the soul, and that the soul has a purpose. And so if you really feel that you're a soul living a human experience, then you probably resonate with the fact that you have a mission here on earth. There is a purpose for you being here, and it's all part of what I'd like to call a soul contract, what you signed up for before you came. And a lot of what we do when we're here on earth is figuring out what we said we were coming here for. And sometimes I have to laugh because I'm like, oh, did I sign up for this? Oh no, yeah, I did, and so did you. And especially when you have soul connections and you go through stuff, karmic contracts, soul contracts, you're like, yeah, we signed up for this, right? So we've got to endure these soul lessons, and the soul wants to experience certain lessons, like it's so interesting that a lot of the things that we experience are not just coincidental, or they just happen for the sake of happening. It was all part of our journey, and ultimately ascension. And ascension isn't like going to planet ascension. It's really about finding our true authentic self, being in alignment with ourselves, and being at our most optimal place of fulfillment, and that's happiness and joy and peace within as well. So being in alignment with your soul purpose is intrinsic in all of that. And I think when we're going through these life changes, whether you've had to go through awakenings, whether it's through you've had a number of illnesses or medical issues, or someone's passed, or you had a major breakup or divorce, or could be even having a baby and life changes, losing a job, changing career, just going, something that abruptly changes. Some of those moments are actually quite profound. They are profound because I like to call them, in tarot, we kind of call out the tarot card. And the tower only comes in when things need to be destroyed in order for something new to come. And in order for something new to come, which would be far more better for us, the existing foundations need to be removed, because there's no space for that anymore. That's not to your highest vibration. Now, I talk about vibration. I talk about us being in our center point and really living in harmony with who we are and connecting with ourselves. It's very much about this podcast. But in order to do that as well, and in order to really live, your true authentic self and be in your authenticity, your authenticity calls you to really be in alignment with why you're here on earth and your purpose. And then everything else flows quite well. So I want to cover an episode about, being in alignment with your soul, knowing your purpose, your dharma, which is also called dharma, and how we can use that navigation and being in our dharma and connecting with our real alignment to live the fulfilling experiences here on earth and within ourselves, but also share that. Because we all have gifts, we're all here for a purpose, and we're all forming this new earth right now. And I'm really here trying to call in as many of the soul tribe to join me and the rest of the tribe in calling in our gifts, our abilities, and sharing that with everyone else as we rise up together, because we're all doing it together. It's not me against you or anyone against anyone else. It is a collective rising up. It's collective. This whole division thing is over. New Earth does not cater for any division. We are one, we are all interconnected, and this is the truth of all time. But we are coming back to our truth, and now we're not going to stop. We're going to keep rising up and being connected to one another. I am you, you are me, and in you I see the light that shines within me, that where I can go and improve or change or transform. And likewise, you are in me, I am in you. So I am in you and I shine a light in you. And in my videos, I'm probably, hopefully, I'd like to think, shining this light that helps, mirror back to each and every one of you watching. Maybe something that you want to look at, or you want to get more familiar with in terms of your own self-development and growth. So let's look at ways of where you might not be in alignment. That's where I'm doing this episode first, because ideally I want to just highlight where you may not be in alignment, and so you can identify with that. And if that is the case, then you can go and look at that. And then the next episode that I'll do in this series of topics will be about the soul alignment and Dharma, and how, actually when we are in our soul alignment and we find our Dharma, we can actually truly manifest. We can really truly show up in the world and be in alignment, and everything just flows so much more effortlessly. And I mean effortlessly. And you kind of have to sort of like go, am I dreaming? Because I'm telling you, I've been there and I'm in it right now. And sometimes I have to say, wow, I can't believe these things are happening, but it's because I'm living my soul's purpose and I've really accepted my mission here on earth. Much of that mission is to be saying what I'm saying right now to you guys, so that you guys can also, find that inspiration in yourself and get into your own alignment. And that will be down to you. No one else is going to do it for you. And this video, I hope, will serve some value. So, okay. Let's look at 5 different ways that you may not be in alignment. Now, the first one, and I know I went through this, something just feels off. And it could not just be one something. It could be a multiple things of some things that makes you feel off. So, you just can't put your finger on it, but it doesn't feel right. Like, life doesn't feel right. Okay, and I'm not saying get into victim mentality, but you just being really honest with yourself and going, I don't know, something's just not right. I'm waking up every day, I'm in these situations, I'm seeing people, I'm doing stuff, I'm working here, or whatever it is that you're doing, and it just doesn't feel right. You could be at an event and you just don't feel so good. You just can't put your finger on it, but you feel like you're at the wrong place. It's not for you. And if you constantly start feeling like that, then you're definitely not fully in alignment or living the life that you're meant to. And it's definitely, and especially if you get like a bit of a social anxiety, like you don't want to be around those people or you don't want to be in that place, intuitively your energetic field is picking up that you'd much more be aligned elsewhere. And that's what that's showing you. But you might not know where that elsewhere is. But first and foremost, identifying with those situations or people or anything that you're around isn't right, and actually you need to be somewhere else. As long as you can kind of make that acknowledgement, then you're halfway there, really. So alignment feels smooth, it feels joyful, it feels natural. You're not trying, you're not having to be someone that anyone else wants you to be. You're just yourself, and you're accepted and celebrated and admired and loved. So if you're not feeling that, then you're definitely feeling off, right? And you need to take a step back and have a look at it. Now, I can't answer that for you, but journaling is a great way of writing down these experiences and saying how you feel and what it is that maybe in contrary to that might make you feel more sort of like at ease, give you that sense of like, okay, no, that feels more my sort of vibe. Like the next one is you don't feel excited by your accomplishments. Now this is quite a big one. So, you might be going down a career path or a study path to study certain like topics, subjects, law, medicine even, quite serious ones, or you might have taken on a career path that, you think, oh, this makes me good money, or whatever it is, or this is stable, I can get that mortgage, or this, or I want to move country and I got this opportunity to be there because of this. So, but you're doing these things, you might be, passing the exams, or getting the promotion, or finishing and completing great projects, closing deals, but the goal that you've just achieved, it just doesn't, you don't feel great. Like, it doesn't, once it's done and it's achieved, you're not like, yeah, like you feel it in your heart and soul. And that's a sign that you're not really truly in your true purpose. You actually could be feeling the opposite. You actually might just feel really drained and be like, okay, what's the next thing I've got to do? And if that's how you're feeling, what's the next thing I've got to do? And you're not actually taking a moment to be really proud of yourself and really celebrate that, then, there is something that's really off, and you definitely are not in alignment for where you need to be. Because if you're in your alignment and you're in your soul's purpose and you're achieving great outcomes, that's going to feel even better, because you're doing what you're meant to be doing here on earth, and then it's doing really well and it's successful. Why wouldn't you be happy? I mean, it would be a no-brainer, right? So that's another one. And now, look, I might be triggering. I didn't say this off the offset, but this might be triggering what I'm saying, but I see it that if it is triggering, it's good, because it's helping you to see that there is something that needs to be looked at. Now, if this is triggering to you, go and journal. What is triggering to you? Why are you feeling this way when I'm saying what I'm saying? Because it is really there to serve for value and for a purpose for you, to align to your purpose. So, it can be really scary to reevaluate our paths. Like, we might have chosen to go down that law route or medicine route or whatever, do this career down this path and be a designer or whatever it is. And then we're going, actually, I don't really enjoy this. I need to be real with myself. I don't even want to be here. I actually want to go and, I actually want to go and live in the rainforest. And I want to practice to be a shaman. It could be anything. Or you want to just make a complete 360. You want to, go down a different type of, more scientific route rather than a creative route that you're in. It could just be a complete different change. So that can be scary, and, I don't want you to feel that it's not possible, but acknowledging that where you're at isn't really where your heart's at and where your soul's at, then you start to really come to terms with what's going on. Now, that's where, you realize you lack excitement, you're not really feeling pumped up. When I talk about, like, the podcast, like, I met a lovely couple today, a lovely woman called Helen, just a beautiful, beautiful soul. We did yoga this morning and we just hit it off and we were chatting away, and I just had such a lovely chat with her, and then we had breakfast together, and it was all unexpected, and we were just talking about stuff, and I was talking about the podcast, but when I talk about it, I just talk about it with such joy and such meaning, because it means so much to me. I know how impactful it is to everyone, but it brings me joy to do this. It brings me joy and comfort and love in my heart. And this is my way of sharing that love and light and the wisdom, because I've had to go through a lot of this. I've had to go through, reevaluating, changing my life path, changing things, complete transformations after transformations after transformations. You guys know by now I'm a Scorpio, so I'll be doing a transformation every couple of days, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't hard. It doesn't mean that it wasn't easy. I had a lot of people against me. I had to walk alone at many points, and that's not easy. But I'm here as a guiding light to say, you can do it. And you can really be in your soul's alignment, and you can really be living your best life. But you have to choose you, and you have to choose yourself, and step into your authenticity. Yeah, it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight, but you will really start to enjoy that unfolding, just like I am right now. And I want that for all of you. This is how we are embodying and creating new earth. It is really for that reason. Number 3 is about you constantly seeking external approval. So if whatever, when we're living in alignment with our purpose, we kind of don't care what people think. And that is literally it. Like, I come up with ideas for the podcast, and I try not to do things based on trying to get as many likes or views or comments or subscribers. I just go with where my heart is. And I've been doing that, and then I've noticed that things are just blossoming and flourishing the way they're meant to. I never really drink, but I've been chatting away and I'm a bit parched, guys. That for me is really where I just do what I'm doing. I've had people say, oh, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I'm like, I know where I'm going. I like the feedback, I like the advice, but I'm trusting my soul, because this is my soul's mission work, this podcast and this platform and the movement and the events. And by the way, there's more events coming up in London, but we will be doing some around the world, so stay tuned, because we would love to have some of the Soul Tribe there, as many of you as possible, so stay tuned. But yeah, and I just go with my gut, I go with my soul, I go with my feeling. It's not that I don't want the feedback. Of course I take it on, I do listen, but I also then go and just trust myself. So you don't care, you just get on with it. But when you're not in alignment, you're constantly sort of seeking other people's approval on what they think, and you're kind of going by that conventional idea of success. What is success meant to look like? How are you supposed to behave? What are you supposed to embody? You need to look a certain way, you need to be a certain way. But that's not really what sets our souls on fire. When we're really doing what we want to do, we don't need validation. We don't need that, hey, you've done, that's it, thumbs up, because our soul's set on fire. We're really in our element. So if you feel like you're constantly seeking the approval of others, the chances are you're not on your life path, your true path. But how can you do that? How can you tune into your own desires and really, when you're always so aware of others, how do you kind of pull back? It's still sometimes there. It's really hard. Filtering out that noise of others' opinions is a hard one, right? It's not easy. And of course, we want to make our loved ones proud, but at the same time, you have to be proud of you, and you have to ask yourself that first. That's where we need to get selfish. And the truth is, though, the only way we can start living in alignment with our purpose is if we silence out the noise, everyone else, and only really follow our own heart. And this is why I'm here. I'm here to just say to everyone, follow your heart, follow your true heart's desires. But in order to know what your heart wants and your soul wants, because they're connected, they're interconnected, they're best friends, you need to be away and time out, introspection. Me, I'm constantly spending time alone, traveling alone, meditating alone. I have a very, very simple life. I have people around me, but they don't dictate to me what I'm going to do. They have an utmost respect, and there's boundaries in place of their consideration and their support. But I'm not going to take on their lack. I'm a person that someone's fear of maybe traveling around in different countries and being on their own and talking to strangers in different languages and stuff. Some people might be like, oh my God, that's a lot. Be careful. But I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for many years. I've been studying abroad, living abroad, working abroad, traveling to many countries around the world, speaking different languages, and really immersing myself into culture. And I've always been safe, and I will continue to be safe, because that's part of my soul's mission as well, is to go and spread light to different parts of the world and bring my message and bring my joy and my light and inspire. And I was doing that last night. I was doing it last night and today about meditation and mindfulness and the need for it, and it was just beautiful. And that's why I know that is also my purpose, is also to meet people on the journey, new people, and just leave a little something, leave a little bit of light with them that kind of comes from my authentic messages. So that point of getting those approval moments, that's going to contradict what your soul wants. So when you quieten out that and you start to spend time with yourself, and again, journal, think out loud, talk to yourself, feel those emotions, confront them, and really ask yourself, what is it? What is making me feel contradictive or in conflict? Because that feeling of conflict is definitely when you're not in your alignment, or you're not being true with yourself and your heart. So that's where conflict tends to come, and you might have been listening to what other people are saying. So now the final one, which I know a lot of you will be very kind of keen on listening to, but I'm not saying you won't listen to all of them, is like struggling to manifest. Because if you feel you're doing all the right things to manifest your desires, the right things can be found, through doing it in alignment. Like, you're still struggling to manifest, but then it may not be the desire that's aligned to your true self, right? So you might be looking to manifest something, but it's actually contradicting where your soul's purpose is. So I always say, like, manifestation will really come to life when we are in our dharma, when we know our purpose, and then we're manifesting from that center point of our purpose. And I'm talking about not just asking for money or a partner and things like that. Yes, of course, but it's all got to be connected to why we're here on earth and what our purpose is. And when that is helping back to humanity, to the world, and we're really using our gifts, then those manifestations, they will come in. But the truth is that if something's not in alignment with our purpose, then it's always going to be an unconscious resistance. We are actually unconsciously resisting it, and that prevents our ability to manifest. So one of the biggest, and this is why I want to cover the topic of alignment and soul purpose, is because I know I do manifestation sort of guidance. We did a manifestation evening in London back in for the new moon in Leo, and it was fantastic. And I'm not sure how everyone's doing that turned up to that event. I know they loved it because there was healing and expansion, but in terms of their manifestations, how they're doing. But if our soul isn't aligning with the thing that we're manifesting on a vibrational level, because the soul has a vibrational resonance with our purpose. So when we're calling in those manifestations, if those manifestations are not vibrationally aligned to our purpose, that's where the resistance comes. So if you're feeling like you struggle to manifest, then there's a good chance it's because you're not living in that alignment with your purpose. And it could be also other things like blocks, healing, lack mentality, and other things that can come up. Don't get me wrong, there's other reasons. If in your subconscious brain you've got this mind, this belief that you're never going to, become a business owner, okay, because of some limiting beliefs or something you were told from young, or something that's actually in your DNA, more ancestral, kind of passed down thinking and lack mentality, then when you're trying to actually manifest a new business and start up a business plan, you keep hitting roadblocks, and it's really feeling quite arduous. When things are meant to be, they flow. It's the path of least resistance. There's also, when you play with the world of quantum methods, quantum physics, we understand that energy will go where it's meant to go, and we have to be very conscious and intentional. But sometimes benevolently within us, we are holding up blocks, and there is healing that's needed, there's releasing that's needed, there's reprogramming that's needed. So I hope that these 5 tips give you a good starting point to just work out, am I living in my soul's purpose? Maybe I am. Maybe there's a few things that maybe need altering, or maybe I'm not at all. I just don't even know. So I hope that this episode, wherever you're at in your journey, whether you are in your soul's purpose and this is actually just clarifying everything for you, or you've actually been questioning a lot of your life and where you're going, I hope that this serves you well. I really think that this is a great starting point wherever you're at in your journey, just to recalibrate and just check in, just ask yourself, where am I at when it comes to these things? Do I feel in alignment? Do I feel at ease? Am I really feeling that feeling of joy? And I would really like to know how you're doing and how it goes. So leave me comments, send me a message, keep me posted, and just start to pay attention to parts of your life that might not feel in alignment, and work out where you might be able to kind of be a bit more honest with yourself, because this is ultimately going to help you become your true authentic self and be honest with yourself and really say to yourself, okay, actually this doesn't fit me because I'm not really that person, I'm this, but how do I embody that? Okay, that's a bit of a journey, but I know that if I'm just allowing myself to be who I am, and I don't care what anyone thinks, that I'm actually going to just be naturally and effortlessly going in the right direction. I think what we do is we try to fit in. We try to fit in and we try to follow what society says, and we try to do a lot of things, but they're not in alignment with who we are. We all have unique gifts, talents, and we all have the ability to show up differently, do things differently, and that is our magic, our own unique magic. And I want each and every one of you to start thinking about, what is your magic? What is it that makes you so amazing? Because you are amazing, you are incredible, you are divine, and you are a creator. And so in order for you to create, it's all about getting into that zone of, where is my purpose in order to create? But first we've got to understand where those misalignments are, so we can kind of navigate away from them and start to identify with them, because it's a healthy exercise. And then I will have another episode that will be out on YouTube, and so look out for it. It might already be out, depending on when you watch this, on how to know, how to get to the alignment of your soul's purpose and find your Dharma. With that being said, I hope you like this episode. Leave me a comment, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will leave you with peace, love, harmony, and muchos abundance. Bye.